October is one of those months that you don't need a calendar to know it has arrived. You just need some eyes and some ears. And one of the sights that October has arrived is the October daisies in full bloom. They start blooming around October 1st, and they'll bloom practically the whole month. The other thing is a sound, and that's the sound of the phoebe bird. Yes, it is time for another garden tour, and we'll start in the greenhouse. The interesting thing is the seedlings that were up last month look about the same, if not worse for wear. In a month, I'm not 100% convinced that planting by the moon really makes a difference, but if I was to be convinced, this would be enough results. I planted these when root crops should have been planted. But I was desperate, and so I started these. They sprouted, but that's all they've done. They haven't grown any more since they sprouted. So maybe there is something to planting by the moon, because these here aren't doing very well. I'll show you what the new sprouts from 2 weeks ago are doing in the garden. Here in the east tunnel, the walls are back together. We still don't have the roof on, but we have our rows. And since things were not working in the greenhouse, I decided to come out here and plant them here in three little rows. So I have broccoli and Swiss chard, kale, collards, lettuce, bok choy, cabbage, and red zinnias, and white zinnias for Christmas bouquets. And I'm trying my best to get some celery to sprout. I don't know. Trying. But now all I have to do is plop these up and transplant them out in the garden. They're doing much better in here than they were up in the greenhouse. In the west tunnel, the green beans are really large, big bushes. And we only planted one row down each thing. They are starting to bloom, but I'm not sure if we have any beans yet. Just flower blooms, I think, is all we have. So, they're getting ready. Then I planted a row of mustard greens. Over on this side, the sweet potatoes are about ready to harvest, I think. I'll have to dig into them. And the zinnias are beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Except for the worms that like to eat everything. But still, the color variety is gorgeous. And it's just a beautiful flower garden. Big old cactus blooms. The basil plant is big. And the tomato plant, well, it is here. And it's got little blooms on it. So maybe we'll get some tomatoes. We shall have to see. Oh, look. There's some tomatoes. And it looks like there's a worm around here someplace. Have to find it. Come October, something magical happens in the garden. They say if you can't conquer something, you might as well just embrace it. And in October, the weeds bloom and become a great food source for all the bugs in the garden. So here we have goldenrod in full bloom. And behind it back there, there is a rose in her glory of blooming. Further on, there's some October daisies. Let's go check it all out. Here in this little patch here, the zinnias are still blooming and the peppers are doing great. They've actually got peppers on them now. Nice peppers growing, getting kind of big. It won't be long before we're eating them. The basil is so big and lush, and like I say, I just wish you could smell it. It's so pretty. Oh, and there's some more volunteers. Nice little zinnias popping in and out. Over behind the gazebo is the best place for the pineapple mint to grow. And this time of the year you can find it blooming its nice red, vibrant flowers. And smelling delicious too. And tucked in this little corner are some hurricane lilies blooming. The figs actually have some figs on them. Late fall crop. Some are ripe for the eating. I think I'll give it a try. The comfrey is recovering from the attack of the chickens. I think they killed one section, so I'll have to transplant some new ones into there. The ginger is still thick and lush, as is the turmeric also. The lemongrass looks like it could be used for some nice cups of warm tea, or maybe some cold tea this time of the year. But it's in its full glory there. And then behind starts what you can't conquer, you just embrace. The goldenrod is everywhere, and so is Spanish needle. You can hear the bees. And there's one right there. In the midst of all the chaos, you have to enjoy the beauty of a butterfly enjoying the nectar out of a Spanish needle flower. So really what is of no use for us, just a weedy old mess, has become a food source for all kinds of beneficial insects. Butterflies, bees, dragonflies, all kinds of moths, and birds. So in the midst of all the chaos, we'll enjoy the beauty of the October daisies for now.